Amps, listen. Who's gonna try and dethrone them? Pharakeets, right? That's awesome. Their Paw Patrol has anything to say about that. We got Titans up here, like Echo. Don't forget about Kitch, the Sim main. Shh, he's okay. He's a pretty good soldier. But Mascot, who is that? I don't know. Soames and Keystone holding that backline strong. Let's see if Pharakeets can do something here to really push them over the edge and get them out of that final. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know.
Here coming in, who else to dethrone the champions but Mama Fariha's team, the Pharakeets themselves, coming in on their first defense, looking to hold it as an iron wall. Hopefully they do have a Rhine and a Zarya looking for those combos, amazing combos. Hopefully they do have a weird on soldier, so nano boosted visor gonna be a fantastic asset that they have. They have Junkrat as well for the graviton assistance out there, so really looking to see some good combos coming out from Pharakeet. Hitch on Sim? No, not anymore. Just kind of hoping to see that the attacks in there, but unfortunately so. So here we are. Match is starting up now, and we have ourselves again.
Up on Big Earls they sit. Speed around. Yes! There it is. Stand on to Echo. The memes have begun. Unlucky, says Rock. Who's there? I don't know if that's quite agreeable, but it's all skill if you think about it with Junkrat.
Oh man, the immediate trap and mine, but the card is going to keep turning. They're not really going to gain much other than ult charge for that one. They'll have yet to come off of Big Earls to stop the cart. Stand gets knocked off as Somes and Mascot are up top trying to get some damage in. His cart keeps on inching along there. One person pushing it. Got a Kitch on that cart. Nobody's dropped yet, but Comp manages to take out Somes and his mech. So the fight has started. Wheat's doing work. Pharakeet's really staying together despite the dive that was thrust upon them. Echo and back gonna get some damage, but now just trying to get away. Fire Strike comes by, narrowly missing it.
Yeah. So an interesting tactic here from Thot Patrol, not diving in as one like death ball onto Big Earls. They came in from 3 different sides. It took Echo a bit to dash around to the stairs, but Soames and Mascot took the left and right of the sign and tried to collapse in on them. But obviously they're on their second attempt here and they're failing on them.
Stan again doing work. We've seen time and time again from Pharakeet. Stan just taking out everybody. He's getting the first pick, he's getting the last pick. He's the driving force behind Pharakeet. Not to say that the rest of the team isn't doing their fair share of work, but Stan really pulling it through for his team. His cart's gonna keep moving on here. Self-destruct comes out. Doesn't get anyone.
Pharakeets here are trying their best. They got an Earth Strike hammer down from Cedro, but that's not going to do anything as there's no follow-up. And only getting Soames, who's also kind of sleeping on the job there a bit, from Slime, who threw out a last-minute sleep dart. So 2 attacks in an extended fight, and they do finally break through. And Thot Patrol is even going as far as to try and get any stragglers here. And Stan, still the last one here, finally concussion mines himself out to join his team. And now it's a dash from the Pharakeets to get some good positioning here as the cart does move into the second phase.
Witch smashed her off to the side, very alone, able to shoot in, not getting attacked right now as the rest of his team is pushing pretty hard. But now he's alone on there, and still nobody has seen him yet. As Pharakeets are looking to try to get to that cart as it turns the first bit. It's already halfway through, and it keeps going. Stan, first one getting taken out. isn't really going to be able to do the work that his team needs him to do. And it's looking like Thot Patrol is going to keep this moving on to this through this second point here.
Not a bad fight. It's a momentary stoppage on the payload, but they already got a 4.5 minutes going into last here, and they didn't have to use too many ults trying to get through that. I know Kit's using Soundberry here, but so far Swish has been off. I mean, doing the soldier thing, high ground up in the back and just laying down consistent DPS. While not many people are going after him here, and he's kind of doing the same thing right now. Is Weird actually switching off to some
ult coming out, but oh, they're able to pick up on it. There was a small bit of lag, at least on my side. Pharakeet's finally able to stop the cart that has just been bulldozing for a while now. And they still do have the ultimate advantage, but maybe not for long here.
Let's see how they use him. Weird is hiding up top, but he doesn't have his Death Blossom, and he's not anywhere near it. He's just trying to find someone, but comes the Earth Shatter from Cedro.
Yeah, able to pick up Soam's mech, and it's going to stop it in its tracks. Soames is able to get back in his mech, but the rest of his team is fairly dead. Weird getting taken out, and that's not going to be really good for their next defense, especially with Rock getting taken out as well. The cart's going to start moving as the rest of Thot Patrol comes back from spawn, making Pharakeet, forcing them to pull back here and wait for the rest of their team to come out of spawn. Swishmaster going up top, going to try to get the Ana, managed to pick her up and is up on the high ground, and you do not want that McCree on the high ground. He's getting chased down by Weird, but Weird has got the range disadvantage. His cart keeps moving on.
Even with that dragon coming in from Stan, no one's on the cart. Weird gets there, but gets pooped and punched in the face by Kitch here. It's just a trickle effect on the defensive side. Keystone saving it with a little Transcendence at the end, a bit of swagger. 2.5 minutes here.
2.5 minutes is a hefty order for Pharakeet to try to compete with. Hopefully they're able to do it. We're going to have to see some amazing dive strategies here. They're not going to be able to just grind through unless they pick up a Bastion comp. Allow them to run through the team, but I'm looking forward to see the strategy they picked, to see if they can match that 2 minutes and 30-second time of Thot Patrol.
Well, I mean, as long as they can get through that first checkpoint, I think it's really the second phase which will kind of seal the deal. If they just steamroll through the second checkpoint, or if it takes them forever and they do that last minute rush and grab the overtime cap, which then you get what, 1 minute or 2 minutes to get to the last. So I'm assuming here they get the first checkpoint, but we'll see how that actually will shake down here. As well, Thot Patrol going for the same composition, and Stan switching off Hanzo, going to some Genji here. So dive potential from both sides here. It's just kind of a game of chicken and who wants to dive first.
You know, I've recently gotten into photography, and I think taking a trip to this place would be really good for that. Just learning how to mesh the oranges with the other oranges. It'd be a great learning experience. Find out what I can make out of it.
I was waiting for that ad placement to just pop up again. And the MOONMOON camera, which does nothing but replace people's faces with Moon2 smugs.
Oh, yes. Perfect accessory, but the game is going to start. Cart is moving already, approaching the first bend. We're going to see what the Pharakeets try to do here in order to keep that cart going. Cedro jumping up top. Mascot already getting taken out, so that's one down for the defense, but Weird getting taken out in return, trading the tracers as the cart's going to keep moving. They do have to worry about Soames up top, but the Soames being alone isn't going to be able to do much with that mech. Or on the cart, Slime is able to burst the baby diva down. And right now, we're just seeing Thot Patrol slowly bleed onto the point, and they're suffering for it.
And Echo's hiding up on the left side here. He's looking for maybe a last-second stall, and he's going to wait for the rest of his team to drop in here. But it's going to take a while for the rest of the majority of Thot Patrol to get there, and it's, I don't know, it's slightly working out, but it's too close to call at the moment.
Yeah, Pharakeet's not out of the woods yet. They've got to deal with another fight here. Echo coming behind, just trying to get all of that extra damage. Fairly equal coming in now, but Weeds gets taken out, and their 2 members of Pharakeet's aren't even on the point. They have to deal with 3. Hopefully their team gets back before they have to deal with that. The Dragon Blade coming out from Stan. Hopefully he can do some work, but he only takes out 1 before Mascot on the Winston takes him out.
So right now, it's a choice of how many ultimates you want to sink into this fight. Do you go and back off here? But with all, as I say that, they're just gonna forcefully put their way into that first checkpoint here with a Transcendence. Troll, I guess they're backing off away from Swish's Tac Visor, but still, they had to invest a little bit more, and now they only have Weird's Pulse Bomb here to try and break up some defensive structure on Thot Patrol.
I'm not really sure that the Transcendence was absolutely necessary in that fight, as most of the team could have just easily hidden behind the cart from Swiss Master, hiding at the, or you know, shooting from that high ground. But oh well, wasted opportunities.
Man, Cedro diving in, trying to go for Soames, got knocked out by Weird's Pulse Bomb into Baby Diva here, but couldn't quite grab him, and the rest of the team of Thot Patrol is going on their own offensive. To the back.
Yeah, the fight's gonna continue. Mascot is able to pick up a few for his team. He's way in the back, but he finally gets taken out. Going to leave his team down 1, at least towards the beginning of this fight, especially if Pharakeets decide to try to force this next one. And hopefully they do.
It may not be too much in vain, because they're only going to push it a little bit of the way before he gets back into the fight here. But Stan, actually Cedro, are going to go in the back line and beat out Transcendence.
Yeah, Stan getting taken out immediately, and that might spell the end to this push. Pedro getting taken out as well, meaning their dive team is down. Rock getting taken out finally, as well as the rest of Thot Patrol. Decides to dive in onto the team that's trying to push the cart. Cart did not manage to get too far in that push. We do have 2 minutes and 50 seconds coming in. Not much time to see if they can match.
Well, they have their spot. They're engaging in the right areas, keeping that payload no farther than that small wooden bridge here. And Pharakeet's definitely not ones to stick to a certain plan, even trying a new way of getting into their attack phase here. Stan is just ruthless right now.
Yeah, Pharakeets do have the ultimate advantage here. Stan is able to pick up 2 with the Dragon Blade before finally resheathing it. Speedro also using his Primal Rage to get something out there. Switchmaster up top, trying to ult, but not necessarily a good ult, as he's fighting against bad odds there. Kitch coming on, seeing if he can stop the cart for a little longer, trying to get behind it and take it by surprise. Comp getting pulse bombed there, but he's able to get away as it doesn't take him out of suit. He's waiting for healing right now, as there's not much on point. The rest of Thot Patrol jumping on, just trying to keep cart from moving, and so far it's working, as they're coming on the point faster than they're getting killed, and this is going to be a bad time for Pharakeets if they're not able to take them out.
I mean, yeah, the stall is really working here, although they are starting to pick up a few picks here and there, as finally people are dropping beside Thot Patrol, and Thot Patrol has wasted valuable time here for Pharakeets, over a minute I believe now at this point, because they want to get, if they lose this fight, which they most likely are going to right now, they want as little time as possible for Pharakeets to push in the last 2.5. That's 2 minutes less than what Thot Patrol had, and Thot Patrol basically just ran them over like a steamroll to get into that final section. So it'll be interesting, as not many ultimates on the field right now. Wheats with the sound barrier, but that's just about it here. let's see what they can do.
Time to raise my ATM.
Yeah, teams coming in head to head right now. Weird getting taken out, Speedro getting taken out. The usual two is they're the ones to dive in. We did see Thot Patrol backing up to catch the divers, and it's not going to spell good things for Pharakeets right now.
And a quick slap down to stop any sort of progression or anything like that, and they have almost five ultimates here, and they can depending on how much they want to invest, they could easily displace, but Seadro and Rock have a lot of work to do as Soames is pulling them in.
Yeah, Rock gonna have to try to get out of there instead, vouches to use his ult. Managed to pick up Kitch, and here we see the Pharakeets getting a lot of kills, hopefully getting to that end point. They're gonna have another fight on their hands, and they're gonna have two ults to do it, and they're not really a very aggressive ult. Swishmaster has the dead eye, but it's gonna be hard to see if that's gonna do anything. Next fight coming in, starts slowly inching forward. Mascot making his way on the point. He does get nano boosted to try to save him, but it's not going to save him for too long. He dies almost immediately afterwards. Slime on Zenyatta getting some nice kills. Tries to ult. We saw the Deadeye come out again. Didn't do anything. Mascot trying to get on point. They're just bleeding on the point, trying to catch it, but they haven't gotten any kills that they need. They're just trying to get them down to 0. It's approaching 30 seconds left on the clock, but the yellow box of victory is right there, and they have it in their grasp.
Is full stall mode right here for Thot Patrol, trying to rush out as fast as they can, but Weird and company right now are just stopping every advance that Thot Patrol has. The close quarters and Stan just doing so much work displacing Splish, as all the ultimates he's been using in this map have basically gone to waste here. And they are just sitting there healing and damaging. They are a non-stop force, but even that overtime has ticked away, so valuable time from Thot Patrol. They finally stalled it enough, but can they get them off the point? But nope, there it is. Such little time away from Cart, and that will burn away. They get pushed in for an extra minute.
Yeah, Thot Patrol really doing the work to earn that extra minute, pushing it all the way through into overtime. Pharakeets were not able to take out the stall comp that Thot Patrol picked up at the very end there, and they're gonna suffer for it. They have to take that extra minute to defend now, and while they did it all right the first time, it may not work as well the second.
I mean, you just have to, if you're going to be sitting top of the big Earls, you have to definitely watch who's being, when you get dove onto. Because then you have to prioritize your target in a very quick decision, and hopefully the rest of your team will follow that decision as well. And it's usually that first pick, because we're not playing with Mercies anymore, as we have in the last couple patches. So now first picks do actually mean something now, rather than just expiring a cooldown for a hero. So it's how Stan, Rock, Seed will be diving in here, and how Weird approaches Big Earls, and maybe he can find Keystone right now, who's hiding off to the side of Big Earls looking for some long-range heals here.
And we see Mascot in the tunnel, seeing if any flankers come his way. And in the tunnel underneath, it's Stan 901 just looking and waiting. See if somebody comes within his range so we can start firing on them. But they're still sitting up on Big Earls there. Heart stops for a second. Echo moving in, gonna try to get Lime. Isn't able to do much work to his health, so doesn't come back in for a second push. Cart's moving up to the first bend. We do have Echo pushing in again. Rockham getting the first pick onto Mascot. Tank going down first. Don't see that too much. The Pharakeets getting some picks with Swishmaster, pushing it back for his team, hopefully, but he gets taken out. He's not going to be there for long. Rock from trying to push that Lucio, who's wall riding pretty high up there, but isn't able to take him out.
And Kitch had a good idea trying to force a bit of defensive pressure with a little bit of a speed boost and heals from Lucio, but wasn't quite enough as a lot of their team was trickling into the car at that point. They're going to continue on here in overtime, trying to keep them from getting that important first hit, but weird. Comes out with a huge pulse bomb. Actually, both Tracers do, but it's going to be Pharakeet coming up on top once they deal with Kitch here, who's going to be booped off point, then we'll just trip back on and face plant in. But now you're in that overtime payload carry phase where you got to stay there and cling to your life and do not leave ever.
Yeah, overtime. Pharakeet are not going to be able to get off of this point for too long. It's going to be a tiny bit hard for them, seeing as they're only going to have the Zenyatta and maybe the Mei to sit on point. One of the healers is going to have to go in with the rest of the dive. But they're getting dove right now, so they're going to need to get that anti-dive in. The ult comes out from Swish, isn't able to pick anybody up. It was a great occasion to use that, but sadly the Pharakeets were able to get out of the way in time to cancel that. We see Stan trying to take out Soames, isn't able to do it as we see a lot of Pharakeets fall. They're going to need to stay on this point here, wait for reinforcements. Keystone coming out with the Transcendence, keeping his team healed. And so slowly but surely, Pharakeets are getting taken out. Hopefully their reinforcements are going to get back before. But not. It's all for naught as Speedro, just his jumping up into the air was enough to run the overtime out. Going to end it with just a point and a little less than a half for them to try to hold here.
I mean, all in all, a fairly successful push, I would say, for having a minute. I mean, granted, if Thot Patrol can get that first point, it should be very easy for them to grab that victory yellow box with their payload, because really it's very hard for the defensive team to engage in that area, because there's so many areas, like you could be back around the corner and you have so many more vantage points, but all your areas that are high up, you're so close to the enemy team next to the end point for Thot Patrol that it's going to be tough for any DPS to be far back without trying to engage and stopping them from going or pushing that payload into that yellow box.
You know, the yellow box, not too hard of a goal for Thot Patrol to look forward to here. But Pharakeets have shown that they can go toe-to-toe with them, so hopefully we're looking for a nice first point match here, because if it does get to second point, it's gonna be fairly difficult. But the Pharah Mercy being used against Pharakeets, first Pharah Mercy that we've seen, at least on this side of the tournament. And wonder if it's going to be used again. We do not see Pharakeets with a hit scan to be using against it, so they do have a good advantage there. Speedro getting the first one taken out. Keystone, the Mercy getting taken out. Not necessarily as important of a pick as it used to be, but it's still a really good pick.
Yeah, and even getting taken out by Rock the Zarya, don't quite see that often, especially Mercy. It must have been definitely out of placement or out of position here, but so far Thot Patrol, Soam's not getting dealt with as fast as I'd want to. Obviously Keystone helping out with heals while she was alive here, but Soam's getting the all-important sight lines here to see if Pharakeets will be jumping on to try and stop it, but I don't know if that'll be wise for them. It's going to be a tough fight here, as Swish could come in with a massive pulse bomb.
Leeds lands on the point versus Echo with the Dragon Blade coming out, trying to pick somebody up. So far hasn't gotten anyone yet. Probably done a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to actually help his team out. We do see Rock left on point. Isn't able to stall it out long enough. The hold was failed. They do have a minute, 2 minutes now to try to keep this cart from moving less than halfway through the point.
And it's going to be tough because they have to come back from spawn. They're not all there yet. And the payload doesn't have to go too far as the doors finally allow the cart to start moving here. And Echo and Mascot are sitting so far up to keep them at bay for the time being, forcing Pharakeets. They're going to have to barge their way in here just to stop the payload when they need to. And so far, Keystone, what are you doing, my man? Getting caught out with the Guardian Angel. That's going to be a big detriment to them.
Nobody on the cart. Cart's not moving right now. We see Stan picking up a kill onto Soames, but Soames already gotten a healer. Weird getting taken out, and Kitch trying to push him off point, but right now Pharakeets have the advantage on the cart. Kitch coming back. The Mercy, Keystone coming back as well, and they're fighting an uphill battle now. Pharakeets just looking to try to take him out. Echo getting a few kills with the Dragon Blade. Soames picking up Cedro, and they're gonna push. They're gonna get this cart to the point, giving them the victory 2-0 in this in the Winter Open.
Oof. All right, the first map down into extra rounds. Yeah, Stan, I gotta say, Stan, while him and his team may not have gotten the win, he had a fantastic game in that second round there, constantly going for, I think Kitch was like one of the first people to die every single time from his blade. And yeah, at least got like 2 or 3 people per ultimate as well. But on the opposite side of things, Swish, he, until like the latter half of the match, or this map, he wasn't doing a whole lot. He had a lot of like uncontested DPS, but a lot of his ultimates using, especially on Soldier, basically got nothing. He always got either he was too late to the team fight, or he just got pounced on by all of Pharakeets here. And even sometimes with his McCree, but you know, McCree, it's a little bit tougher because obviously you're a big glowing target, and you're just waiting for those circles to close in on their heads.
Yeah, Speedro sadly getting taken out fairly easily, as the Winston didn't really work out for him. He got taken out. Weird got taken out on the Tracer, and it was only downhill from there, as they were the only 2 diving in. It didn't seem like they had the support of their team some of those times. A lot of the time they did, and that led to victories. But some of those times they were fighting around the corner and couldn't quite get the healing that they needed to stay in the fight, and it cost them.
Yeah, well, it cost them the first one, but there's still hope alive here. Pharakeets put up a fight the first map, but we're actually going to take like a mid-match break here. We're going to switch. We're going to reset some stream things. You know, those frames have been hurting, so thanks for sticking around for a bit. We're going to reset, so give us like 5 minutes, and we'll be back with the rest of this Pharakeet Security Solutions vs. Thot Patrol game. So please stick around while we reset all the things.